with the post-game press conference. Tonight we have Coach Hammock, Nolan Potter, Dane Partridge, James Hester. Coach, why don't you start us off with a statement about today's win?
Yeah, first of all, extremely proud of our players, extremely proud of our coaching staff, their work, their preparation, their ability to stay in the moment and grind and persevere is something that, you know, as a coach you always want to see and something that you want to teach. I think that's a great opportunity, life lessons of how to stay in the moment, put your head down and keep working, and good things will happen. And today, you know, we probably played one of our best games of the season in all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams. Guys had each other's back. They worked together. They stayed in the moment. And, you know, certainly something that we can build on as we continue to go.
Questions?
James, what's the shutout mean to this group?
Yeah, obviously our first shutout since 2019. So this defense has been on a different level this year. Best it's been since I've been here in my entire career. So I think we've done some great things all season, and I feel like we're just kind of seeing the fruits of our labor kind of come around. So it means everything, especially this being my last game here in Husky Stadium.
Yeah, for both James and Nolan, what does it mean to get a shutout, a big win like this, to keep you guys eligible for bowl game, and you know, to get it for senior night?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, our defense, they put their butts off, and the only thing the offense had to do was just go score and play our game, and it meant a lot to get a shutout.
Yeah, kind of like Nolan says, it's huge, and really, obviously on your way out, you want to see the team kind of grow and continue to develop, and we saw some young guys do some really good things. Obviously, you got Jalen Poe coming in at the end of the game and make some pretty big runs. So just seeing the team come along, like, obviously our goal was MAC championship. We couldn't do that, but we've been able to build, and guys are never going to quit. So.
Dane, for you, the punt return, what did you see on that, and just how did it feel to get the first punt return for NIU since 2009 for a touchdown?
Yeah, initially I wasn't planning on returning it, but I saw that there was an opening to the right. Obviously, was able to cut back and score, and just meant it was just an amazing feeling. I mean, my grandma passed away recently, and I was playing for her tonight, and meant a lot to me.
Was she from DeKalb here?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry for your loss, Dane. Nolan, for you, the running game was firing on all cylinders today. Ontario, I think he finished with over 150 yards, and then Gavin came in the third and fourth quarter and did really well. What would you say was working for you guys up front offensively to where you guys were imposing your will throughout 4 quarters today?
Well, I think it started earlier in the week. Early in the week, they told us we're running the ball. They're putting it behind the O-line. So we took that personal. We took the game into our hands, moving the line of scrimmage. I think anything we did was going to work. Even if it was a short run, those short runs turn into big yards. So just it started earlier in the week, just imposing our will, knowing that the ball's going to get right behind us.
To any of you, at a record of 4-6, was there a heightened sense of urgency today? This was an elimination game in terms of finding a bowl. Did you feel more urgency?
Jake?
Absolutely. I mean, all week Coach Benedetto has preached to us playoff football, playoff mentality, because obviously it's kind of like you're playing for your life. So, and Western Michigan was in the same position we were, so it's not like they're just out there playing for nothing. So, huge.
Coach, for you, you talk often throughout the season how this time of the year you have to play good defense and be able to run the football. You also controlled the clock in your typical fashion to like the tune of like 40 minutes to 20. How does it feel to get that complete performance? I know it's a little bit later in the season, but to have one of your best games here in a do-or-die game on senior night?
Yeah, I think, you know, I believe in our offense. It took us a while to get things going, but we got good players and we got a good offensive line. We got a quarterback that did a tremendous job tonight managing the game the way we needed to manage the game. And we put ourselves in position to be manageable situations where you can get it on third down and run behind the strength of these guys. And that's how we should play. And then obviously, as people start to load the box up, then we'll take shots down the field, which we did with Chris Carter. A great throw by Rocky to Chris Carter. They sold out to stop the run, and that's how we have to operate as an offense. And if we protect the ball, we are a hard team to beat, and I think that's important because we are really, really good on defense, and we play well on special teams. We went for an onside kick. We were going to be aggressive in this game to go win the game, and we had an onside kick. Obviously, they called a penalty, but we didn't flinch. We kept pressing forward, and that's how we want to play football.
James, in the fourth quarter there, you guys are up 24-0, but they get down to about the 15-yard line there in the fourth quarter. What was kind of the mindset at that point, knowing that, it's still a 24-point lead, but wanting to preserve the shutout?
Yeah, I mean, the entire drive, it was kind of like, don't give them anything. Obviously, we played such a great game. You don't want to let that shutout. You don't want to let that go, especially at the end of the game like that. So obviously, we kind of let them get a few plays here and there, but at the end of the game, we shored up, and it's huge for us to get that shutout.
And then for James and Nolan, this being your last game at Husky Stadium, what have you enjoyed the most about playing here at NIU?
It's definitely been the people. I know I've been here for 6 years, so definitely been around a couple different faces, just building the connection, and it's always been a brotherhood throughout this team.
Yeah, I mean, really, this coaching staff gave me an opportunity that I really didn't have. Obviously, playing in the MAC, there's multiple schools in Michigan, where I'm from, that didn't give me a chance to come out and play. So every time we see like a Western, a Eastern, a Central, like those games mean a lot to me because those people didn't give me an opportunity. They didn't think I could be the type of player that I've become. So that's been one of the biggest things for me.
This one's for James and Nolan. When you sit back and look at your career here at NIU, what do you want to be most remembered for during your playing time here at NIU?
For me, just being a leader and somebody who's never going to give up and somebody who's always worked hard no matter what the circumstances were. And I think when I came in, I had a lot to learn. Obviously, I came in 17 years old, and I wasn't perfect. I definitely wouldn't say I was the leader I am now. I was just a guy trying to make it. But I think that through this coaching staff, through everybody around, really SAS, everybody's kind of helped me develop into a much better person, and I can't thank them enough for that.
Yeah, I think James said it perfectly. Growing up, coming through this, growing up to be a man, people around here that have shaped me into that. But also just being consistent on and off the field. Had to learn that young, coming in here. And then also leadership, like he talked about.
Coach, you had Tuesday talked about how much Western likes going for it on fourth down and everything. I think they only went for it once. I think you guys kept them out of position, like where it wouldn't make sense to go for it. It was all fourth and long. There was 1 4th and 3, but it was their half of the field. Obviously, how important was that, knowing their penchant for going for it?
Yeah, I talked to our defensive staff, and we have a book too, right? And so what I explained to our staff is, okay, 1 is to go here, 2 is to go here, 3 is to go here. So you have to offset that, right? And I think it's important that you call your defense to offset what they're trying to do, because sometime on a 3rd down and 5, they may be trying to get 3 yards to get into a 4th and 2 go mentality. Then I also talked about penalties. If there's a penalty on 3rd down, right, and you have a chance for 4th and 4 or 3rd and 14, we may have to take the penalty knowing that they're going to be an aggressive mentality. So we use their thinking against them. And the reason I got that is because when I was in Baltimore, we were very aggressive going for it on 4th down. And every time we played the Steelers, right, they had to plan to stop it. And I think that's important from an analytical standpoint. When you go for it on those situations, now we can make the calls that we need to make to keep you from, because they ran it a couple of times on 3rd down too, right? And you got to understand that's a two down mentality. So running it for 5 yards, but obviously our defense did a great job stopping those guys in those 3rd down situations when they tried to run it and get into a manageable 4th down situation. They did have 1 4th and 1 that they punted, and I think that's a testament to our defense because obviously they knew up front, we have an interior defensive line that's going to be, hard to block. So that's a respect to our guys.
Do you feel like that because wasn't it down on about their 25 or so somewhere?
Yeah,
that's still the situation.
That's a go.
Okay.
4th and 1 is a go. And to me, I took that as a sign of respect for our defensive line. What they had 1.2 4 yards per carry on a guy that, was almost 1,000-yard back. So obviously they respect our defensive line should walk out of that game knowing that team respects us.
Coach, what does it say about your team that you guys were able to come in and dominate a team that have been playing really well over the past few weeks and get a big win in a must-win game for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we have a good football team. I think the record, we lost 5 games by 23 points. So don't let the record misconstrue your thought process. We have a good team, and we stuck together as a team with a group of young men that's playing together, and I think that's important, right? They didn't bow their head. We had some of our best practices the last 2 weeks, right? We didn't beat Ball State, it happened, but they came back and they responded at practice. And if you practice that way, you give yourself a great opportunity to play like you played last night. And we got to have another great week this week with the understanding that, hey, this is our last game of the regular season. If we want to play another one, we got to find a way to score more points than them.
That was going to kind of be my question, going beyond the X and O's. Tuesday night, you had some disappointing losses, turnover-based, kind of a sparse crowd tonight, and these guys were jacked up.
Yeah.
How do you get these guys so excited and jacked up, Coach?
We play for each other, man. When you go through the ups and downs of the season and the adversity, right, that makes you stronger as a football team. And these guys are strong. And I told them, before the game, I loved them because I do. When you put this much into a program and you invest this much and you ask the players to invest as much as they invest, the results don't matter. You have to understand the process of what it takes to do the things necessary to put yourself in a position to win, right? Because winning is hard, right? It's hard to win. But these guys have stayed focused. They stayed committed to one another. And as a coach, that's all you can ask for.
Coach, I know we still have a few games left, but 2 of the people that are sitting up there with you right now have an opportunity to play at the next level. Just your thoughts on Nolan and James as far as their aspirations of playing football at the next level.
You want to play at the next level, play great next week, But obviously senior night is always an emotional night. Not only these 2, but other guys in that locker room that's going to have opportunities. As a coach, you want the best for them, right? And you want to put them in position to be successful. And, then the rest is out of your control. I had a conversation with James a couple weeks ago about, ways that he can continue to enhance himself. And I thought he did that tonight with the way he played. And then Potter, they always looking for tackles that are steady Eddie and can get the job done. And you know what? He's played, I don't know how many games he played in a row. He's always out there when we need him. And there's other guys in that locker room as well. But the thing they need to understand is, you win next week, you get an opportunity to have more film on tape. So let's go win.
Coach, do you have any update on Ontario Brown? We saw he got injured
Yeah,
and
no,
didn't
he's
come
good.
back.
He had a chance to come back, but at that point, I thought the game was out of reach, and I really wanted to see Jalen Poe out there, to be honest with you. I think that kid is going to be special, and, I want him to have a chance to get some carries.
Anything else from these guys? All right, we'll let them go.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.